There's always time to cry. I go for the spicy, caliente, you know?
All right.
Working on my hot sauce lingo.
Welcome, Storm Chasers, to episode 3 of Emo Hot Ones. I'm Corey. I'm joined today by Erik Czaja from Dowsing, Pet Symmetry, Mush, probably many other Chicago bands that we'll talk about today. Erik, are you ready to dive into 10 spicy questions with 10 veggie nugs and get a little spiced up today?
I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to get spicy.
All right. Well, we have you here this episode to talk about all things Pet Symmetry, but I'd also like a special shout out to our 300 Storm Chasers patrons. Finally, we've made it. We thank all of you. Cannot believe it. This has been amazing, and shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you for being our patrons, for joining in on all the fun, including this and much more to come. So with all that said, if you're ready, we can dive into nugget number 1.
I will be honored.
All right, let's do it. These are going to be
Cheers.
a little bit more volatile, I believe. They're so big.
So good. They've really absorbed. I've absorbed it already.
I was so hungry that I forgot to mention that this is the Mezcal Joon sauce
really
by
hungry.
Lady Shiraz Sauces. It is what we're kicking off today with. And speaking of kicking off,
That's good.
Yeah, oh man, gonna only get worse once we go on.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. So kicking it off with question number 1, the fans want to know, everyone wants to know, what is the meaning of the name Pet Symmetry and what does it mean to you?
The meaning of the name Pet Symmetry? To me, so the name comes from, I believe, Frank Turner wanted to name a hardcore band, which I forget what the band ended up being called. It was something way less cool. But Chris Farron saw his post and was like, here's a band name, here's a band name, here's a band name, Pet Symmetry. And then,
So this was a series of posts.
it was just kept going. And then Evan Weiss, who's also in Pet Symmetry, was like, saw Pet Symmetry and said, hey, hey, if he doesn't use that, I want that.
All right.
And then Chris Farron was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And I think he was like, you know, give me your firstborn child, give me this, give me that, always credit me on your records, get a picture
on
of me
the
with
show.
get a picture of me with dogs, whatever Chris Farron wants, Chris Farron gets.
Okay.
And what does it mean to me? Well, like, you know, it's the play on Pet Sematary and, you know, puns, and like the whole first record's all the puns. And to me, it's just at this point, and it's always meant just exuberant fun. Like, it's always just been like this, like, really like great, you know, project, and it's always just been very, I don't know, it's just been really great to get to know, you know, the two dudes in that band. They've, you know, become like my best friends, and it's always just been a fun adventure with them.
All right. Great. Well, let's go ahead and dive in then to wing number 2. This is one of my favorite sauces to pick up at the store, at the taco joint. This is Tapatio, and wing or veggie wing number 2. So, for the second question here, as in the name, the origin of the name for Pet Symmetry, you guys are just full of inside jokes, matching outfits, concept albums, and the entire band itself seems to just be a giant inside joke taken way too far, which is very obvious.
Yes.
That being said, what is one inside joke that the three of you share that has been coming up for years, that if you guys are all together, that's the constant joke that happens?
Oh, God.
The big inside joke for Pet Sim.
Oh, no. Now I'm blanking. We have a new one.
Hit me with
Can I
it.
do the new one?
It's
It's Who's the Boss? And I got it tattooed on me.
Okay. Wait, can you keep that for...
So it's a fresh tattoo. It's not going to look that nice.
Okay, so
But,
what's behind that?
So who's the boss now?
Yeah.
So we were in a cabin. So we have a new record coming out, right? Future Suits is coming out in August. But we were recording a brand new record and writing a brand new record in the winter of this year, in 2021, which is yet to be named. Well, it is named, but I'm not going to tell you. So when we were there, like this story came up that I think I brought up. I don't know. I was not of sound mind, let's say.
All right. You were in a creative state of mind.
I was in a creative state of mind, yeah. And we won't go into what that was, but I was doing things. And a story about Bruce Springsteen came up where the Super Bowl ad that he was in was pulled because he was on a motorcycle and someone spotted him in Florida in the Keys, I think, and they were like, "That's Bruce Springsteen. Let's give him a shot." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm the boss. Give me a shot." So he took the shot, and then a police officer saw this old man on a motorcycle and taking a shot and then driving off, and he followed him, pulled him over right away, and was like, "Hey, you gave him a ticket," and then we were just thinking about how funny it was to think about, Bruce Springsteen looking at this police officer being like, "Do you know who I am? I'm the boss." And then the police officer going back to the station, being like, I gave Bruce Springsteen a ticket," and he's like, "Who's the boss now?"
I knew that's
who's the boss now. So we just go into his face and go, "Who's the boss now?" And now I have a tattoo.
So, do you want to dive into nugget number 3 here, which is a jalapeno popper sauce from our friends in Teenage Halloween. You procured this one, but haven't tried it yet. So
yeah, Luck from Teenage Halloween makes this is bad marketing because it's not called God is Dead. I just want to say that.
We mentioned that last time.
I want to say that.
Sorry about that.
It's not called God is Dead, and I sent an article to Corey, and I'm sorry I didn't look up the real name. Anyway, God is Dead.
Okay.
Dead.
Well, that's wing number 3, so let's go.
Cheers.
So, for question number 3, you mentioned the new record, Future Suits. I was going to mention that, we've seen all the promo photos where you guys are wearing these very futuristic suits, silver with the matching shoes. That is very futuristic. But in all actuality, what do you think suits of the future will be like in the real world?
In the real world?
Yeah.
Man.
Or in whatever world you want to conceptualize for yourself.
I mean, I honestly, if I could conceptualize a world and what we wear, like we'd all wear overalls maybe. I think we would go back to like early 90s, streetwear, or I really love the 80s and like the hair. Like that's very futuristic hair, some of that stuff, like the punks back then. So I feel like it's like 80s hair.
Okay.
That's like what you have on your head.
All right.
Or we're all bald. Okay. Everyone's bald. Women,
hairless.
Children.
Everyone's hairless.
Everyone's a hairless animal, human.
Okay.
We're all hairless. No hair at all. Anywhere on your body.
80s wigs, maybe.
80s wigs.
like colonial style.
Yeah, like where the 4 or 5. Yes, exactly. Yes, you get your wigs for events, special events.
Okay.
To feel rich. If you have hair in the future, you're poor.
Okay.
Think about that.
It's mandated. You must wear this wig. Okay.
You shave your head
going.
every day.
I love this.
Every day. And every morsel of hair on your body, because the air is toxic, and if it gets in your hair follicles and absorbs into your body, you die. So that's why there's no hair.
Okay.
That's what it is.
With overalls and
you're
naked. Hairless. Oh, you're naked now. Okay, great. So future
you paint outfits on
suits.
You paint yourself what you want to be that day.
I love it.
You're bald.
I feel like we could have this be the entire episode, but all right, you're hairless, you paint your clothes on. If you have hair, you're poor. Okay.
That sounds about right.
I love it. That's what the actual future suit is, but I love your guys, and the new promo photos are absolutely awesome. Sam did a great job at those. So.
Oh, yeah, he did such a good job.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about that.
Okay, so diving into sauce number 4, this is Marty and Joe's, I always get this wrong, GB's Serrano. It's GB Serrano. I just met GB this past week. Great person. This is GB's signature sauce, Serrano by Marty and Joe's here.
We love our friends. We don't know anything about what they do.
Yeah, these veggie nuggets have been great. I'm glad that we went with these because, like I said, you can actually taste the full flavor of the sauce. But so, for years, you were a vegan. For almost the entire time that I've known you, I believe, and even many years before that. But in a move that went viral all over the internet, you ate a fillet of fish in one sitting while there was just a static camera on you. But prior to that, I know you spent many years on the road, touring in many bands, many different areas all over the world. Looking for vegan food. I've seen you have to eat, some things that maybe you ate cans of beans for days in a row. But give me what, in your travels, what have been some of the highlights of your vegan food experiences on the road?
So, thank you. That's really good. So I have one regret from being vegan that long.
Okay.
And it was like, obviously, like you go to all these places and there's like awesome food everywhere, and I do regret not being able to experience a lot of that. I still had great experiences. Don't regret that. I do wish I had made if any touring musicians are out there, you can take my idea and write a book or something about your travels, because I wish I noted that and took photos and was able to make like some kind of, could have got the trend of veganism and sold some books, become a published author. That would have been pretty good. But anyway, that's another life that I choose to live in the future when I'm hairless and painting myself. But yeah, I had like vegan haggis once.
Okay.
And
that's Irish, correct?
It's
Scottish? It's Scottish. So were you in Scotland when you had this?
It was at that, I think we played there. It was like that weird, I don't know the name of it. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I don't know, I was at a place somewhere and it was good. It was vegan haggis. Wherever you get haggis. It was great. One of the nicest things too about traveling and like being vegan was like that everyone was really accommodating. Even if I feel bad for some of my bandmates because they're not vegan, they were always like really nice and supportive of like getting vegan food for the most part. I understand sometimes not ideal, but like it was always nice to go somewhere and someone had a home cooked meal for you, and like they're like, even if it was like the sloppiest, worst pasta you've ever had in your life, someone made that for you, and that was really nice. And that's like always what I try to do with like DIYs. Like if a band came through, I would make them something, even if it was sloppy pasta.
You take the care that you're putting into the time and effort that it takes to make a meal for somebody and giving them a taste of home, whether it's yours or theirs. I love that. And then I will need to try vegan haggis at some point, I'm sure. I don't know if I will make it over to Scotland to have it, but we'll seek it out.
I have a lot of
I'll eat
friends
it with you.
Yes, I would love that. I've eaten a lot of things that are very disgusting, though, that are vegan, and it's wrong.
Okay, well, we're talking highlights, but we've got to the highlights and the lowlights. I love it. Let's move on to question number 5, wing number 5, and that is going to be another favorite of mine. This is Soothsayer, who makes our Storm Chasers Hot Sauce. This is the Harbinger sauce.
Right.
So
getting a lot of new ones here I've never had. Thank you. I love how the bread on the nug is just like, I was crispy once and now I'm not.
It's a sponge just wrapped in hot sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of sponges and vegan food, whether it's Pet Symmetry or Dowsing or Mush or Kittyhawk or any other project that you've been a part of, Erik Czaja very much has always been, to me, a songwriting machine. So, what fuels the Erik Czaja songwriting machine? It could be inspiration, it could be food, it could be, coffee. What fuels the songwriting machine that is Erik?
I think boredom, honestly, and I guess at one point I had nothing better to do.
Okay.
And that might sound weird, but I always just that mixed with pushing myself to try to be better at guitar, but really just playing the same riff over and over again and going, that's the song,
But to be able to have such a vast collection of songs has always impressed me. So
well, thank you. Yeah, it's just strange because there's definitely moods maybe I'm in, or maybe it's just I was on tour and I came home and I was like, now I have to write Kittyhawk songs, or I am now writing a Dowsing song, or I wrote something and I have to choose a choose your own adventure, choose your band. Does Pet Symmetry get this? Does Dowsing get this? Does Kittyhawk get it? And there have been songs, even on this new Pet Symmetry record, that were for other things, and then those things didn't happen, or I was like, nah, and I just brought it over here, and it's funny. That happens more now, I think, as I'm older, because the years now between releases, I think, are more, and because I'm not I got to get something out every 6 months or every year or whatever.
Yeah, that old grind. Yes.
Yeah, but I guess when I started writing, it was just me being motivated just to write my own songs, and then be like, the next time I would come to it, be like, I can write a better song. And like, that was pushing me to do it. And I don't know. It was just, it's never been like it just comes to me.
Okay.
From somewhere.
I love the idea of boredom though, and just sitting down with a guitar, pumping something out, and then kind of deciding what direction you want to take it.
And I've been asked by like Evan or like Marcus or whoever, like in bands, being like, how did you like decide that this was going to be our song or whatever? And it's like, I don't know, it just made sense.
Well, I'd say that, you know, each band has its own style, but you definitely bring forth a very defined style of your own to each of the projects, you know, independently, but, you know, always as being notably an Erik song. So, yeah. I was just curious what that is that's the fuel for that fire, but boredom, I love that.
I think it's boredom and just, I wanted to be a little more inspirational than that, but I think boredom and just like, I guess putting my emotions out there. I think it's always been an emotional outlet for me too, to just write music.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you are ready for wing number 6, we are moving on to the weak sauce blood boiler, and I believe this has some sort of orange and pepper concoction to it.
Okay.
And this is, if I'm not mistaken, Evan from the Super Weeks sauce. So we did this one last time. It's great. I can't wait to try it out with you.
The color of the nug looks good. It looks like a regular nug.
It does. Okay. Yeah. It's got like a sweetness, but it's definitely building up in spice.
It is building. Yeah.
So for this next question, it's more of the show and tell aspect of this show, in which I dig up an old photo from your your Facebook or your social media, and this was actually the second oldest photo that was on your Facebook. And tell me a little bit about it. The first oldest photo, the very oldest one rather, was you, your sister, and Method Man. I'm sure that was a great story.
That was my first band.
That was your first band.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit more about this.
So this photo is at Curmudgeon Music, which was in Hillsborough, New Jersey. It was the first show I ever played. I'm 16 years old. I'm wearing a Vandals t-shirt that says, "This is an emo t-shirt."
It looks like a Count Your Lucky Stars t-shirt.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's the Vandals.
Okay.
So it's hilarious. And like I see a lot of faces I see a lot of back of heads, but I see like 2 or 3 faces I can make out my own. Long hair, long beautiful hair. Wouldn't fly in the future.
What band is this?
This is Infinity Ends.
Okay.
It was this terrible band that we wanted to sound like Under Oath. They wanted to sound like Under Oath. Let me clarify.
Okay.
I wanted to sound like, I don't know, anything else. And I was deemed to sing because, so what happened here, this band had a trajectory here. It was, we were going to be a ska band.
Okay.
I was 16, I started playing bass. I was terrible at bass. Ska would have been the worst choice of a band to be in. But the horn section never came, so we became a emo band by default.
Okay.
First guitarist in that band pulled a knife on me once, kicked him out of the band. Then we got 2 friends to play guitar in the band, and we had a singer. The singer, he was Holes Knowles was his name. He was in some hardcore.
Is that stage name or is that
Holes Knowles.
okay?
He loved hardcore and he beat down music and stuff like that.
Okay.
He tried to sing like Davey Havok. It was great. And then he quit the band right as we were recording our EP, and everyone looked at me and went, "You have to sing now." And I was like, "Great!" And I just made up these lyrics. My mom still sings one of the songs to me.
Love it.
And
do you know an excerpt that she normally sings to you?
Yeah, it's called "Going Nowhere," and I think the lyric is like, "We're going nowhere," and that's like the lyric or whatever. I don't know. I probably sing it better now, or I probably sang it better then. And anyway, she loves it, and it's terrible. It's a terrible song.
Okay, so for the next question here, number 7, if my math serves me correctly, is going to be El Yucateco's Caribbean hot sauce. This is a habanero. So we're going to start the hot stuff now. Very hot stuff. Everything's been spicy and great, but I'm excited to dive into this with you. Number 7.
I'm so happy to be here with you.
Me too.
Experiencing this.
It's been good.
There's always time to cry.
Okay, so, in the latest promo photos that we talked about earlier, Pet Symmetry with your future suits look like you're ready to, blast off into space, maybe. It's very timely because, in fact, just today that we're shooting this, Jeff Bezos just launched into space on a giant penis rocket.
Yes.
So, do you think that by the time this airs that he'll be dead?
He's not gonna die because he's a succubus. He is the future. Think of it. He's bald already. He already has the future look.
Yes.
Unfortunately for all of us, he can't grow hair anymore. And he's setting the trend where we're all going to shave ourselves and paint ourselves naked. So we don't get the poisonous gases, or at least from his penis rocket that he just launched off on. Right, exactly. He is the reason why our future is doomed. His penis rocket. Think about that.
Wow. On to number 8. This one is Marie Sharp's Beware Comatose Heat Hot Sauce.
Doesn't sound good.
Literally picked this one up because of the label. So if you're ready, we'll dive into question number 8.
It looks like little Cheetos.
It does. Okay, so we looked back to the origin of your first band with the photo we took a look at. But most fans of Pet Symmetry and all of your other bands, followers of yours on social media, and our Storm Chasers patrons know you as Rick.
Yeah.
But I want you to go back to that high school era and tell us, who was high school Erik?
Oh man.
Who were you?
I was a loser. I don't know. Actually, I wasn't a loser.
You were in a
that's
band.
A lie.
That's pretty cool.
I was like the person who people were like, if you were cool or if you weren't cool, I was like a nice guy. I was the nice guy. Like that, I guess like that's a terrible thing to say, like, oh, I'm a nice guy now, but like I guess like there's connotations with that. But like I think it's like when it was back then, it was like, oh, Erik, he's a nice guy. Like that would just be like
floating through social circles.
Yeah.
And
I could talk to someone who was really popular, or I could talk to someone who wasn't popular, and no one really judged me like any certain way from that.
Great.
I was in marching band.
What did you play in marching band?
I played saxophone.
Okay.
Alto, and then I went to tenor. And if anyone from Hillsborough marching band's watching this, I just want to say, like, I thought I was a cool band person, no offense. And I stopped doing marching band my senior year because I was like, I'm done. I want to be my band.
I did that in ninth grade, rather. You always think you're too cool, but I know plenty of friends, such as yourself, that went through marching band, loved it, and are better musicians.
It looks good on your college applications. You don't have to go to college, kids. But anyway, like you can do whatever you want. Besides that, everyone else is a loser now, and we're cool.
Okay, all right. With that, you ready to move on to number 9? This is Da Bomb.
I'm ready for pain.
So, wing number 9, Da Bomb.
Da Bomb.
We're in this together.
That ain't right.
It doesn't taste natural.
No, not at all. But I feel pretty good.
All right. Well.
No, I'm not feeling good, but you can tell me more. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take a drink.
It's fine.
All right. Scenario. Earth is fucked. Just as your mouth is maybe feeling a little bit fucked right now, too. So, this could be some other planet, some other dimension. What is your otherworldly happy place that you need to go to with Earth is fucked?
When Earth's fucked, where do I go? Oh, man. It's hard to get the words out right now because I just had Da Bomb. Where do I go?
It could be imaginary.
I'm starting to
from a
cry.
movie.
It's so emotional. It's so emotional.
I'm tearing up myself.
Where would I go? I would go to like, this might be weird. Pee Wee Herman's world.
Okay. What brings you there? What brings you to Pee Wee Herman's world?
I just, like, Pee Wee's Big Adventure is a huge movie, great movie. I have a tattoo, a Pee Wee Herman tattoo. The bike ornament.
Okay.
It's just a great movie with a bunch of one-liners, We're both crying, we're both getting emotional here.
I know. Just thinking about Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
I know. It's so beautiful. The big dinosaurs. Oh my God, Large Marge. It's just like all the characters, they're so great. Even the TV show had great characters, you know?
10th Wing, the Storm Chasers Emo Hot Ones sauce by Soothsayer, a local Chicago brand. Go support them. Go pick up this sauce. Any other ones they got, if it's not available, hopefully we'll get some more soon. For this 10th Wing, you ready to go?
I got a tear in my eye. I'm ready.
All right.
Thank you for this journey.
We're on it together. If you're ready for the 10th question, you know, we talked about high school Erik rather. You know, your first band back in New Jersey. I know Evan's from New Jersey, but the first band that I know you from is Dowsing, and that's where I know you from, as well as Marcus. So I'd like, if you could, just give me the story of, you know, how the three of you met, started playing in this project together. Give me the origin story of Pet Sim.
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, I was playing in Dowsing. I met Marcus in New Brunswick, New Jersey. I had a basement venue I had. It was called Bosnia. And the Please and Thank Yous, his band played there.
All right.
I was going to go to graduate school in Chicago, and I told Marcus that, and Gooey, and Jeff, of course, and whoever else was there. I was like, I'm going to Chicago, and I need friends. And you know, they were willing to be my friend when I moved to to Chicago. And Marcus lived at a DIY house called Summer Camp. We would practice there. I would borrow all the gear. It was awesome. It was really really thankful for Jeff and then everyone who lived there for letting us be able to do that, and like, you know, live that early dreams I had of just going on tour and making a record, actually doing that, because I feel like I could never do that. So I thank everybody who was ever a part of that. And then we met Evan at the second Dowsing show, which was Dowsing and Coping, and I don't know, probably Cloudmouth or something. I don't know. There's just a bunch of bands on it.
I remember that golden era. That was fantastic. Yeah. Oh man,
yeah.
Every show was stacked.
It was amazing. It was at Strange Light, which was this awesome venue that was below a theater.
You had to climb below the table in the kitchen.
Yeah. It was a magical place, and that's where Evan approached us after we played and was like, "You guys are pretty good," and I was like, "Wow. Your song is my ringtone when I wake up." And I think I told him that, but I don't remember. It was Brenham, Texas, if you want to know. And that's how you wake up every day. Anyway, so I would wake up to that, and then I met him, and it was great. And then like Evan would just be at shows, and he like would approach us at another Dowsing show, I think, after we played, and he was like, "Hey, you play guitar. Do you want to be an Into It over it?" And I was like, I cannot play guitar that well. And that's very flattering that you think.
I write out of boredom.
Yeah, I write out of boredom. I can't do this. So like I was like, oh, you should ask this person or this person, and you know, like whatever. And he wouldn't give up on me though, and he was like, how about this? Why don't you write like 2-3 songs and get Marcus and let's jam? And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I think like a month went by and I saw him again. He's like, yeah, did you write some songs? You want to like jam? And I was like, oh, yeah, totally. And then I found some songs.
Okay.
Or I got bored and I wrote some songs.
All right.
And I was like, hey, I have these song ideas, and that's what became the 2 songs, you know, the long titles, the dog on it. And then we had the Dikembe split we did with the cat on it. And those were the first 3 songs we wrote. I think we wrote, and it was like February. We were in my garage at the time at Narnia with the van next to us practicing and like huddled with like a little heater trying to write some songs. And then I think like Evan's like, cool, we're gonna go record this in like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, let's go do that. And I was like nervous and scared. And you know, I'll just never forget like, I've recorded things like really quickly, like all the early records are like done in like 3 days and stuff like that. And like I just remember we took like 6 hours to do this EP, like, and this other song, and like it was this like magical whirlwind experience where I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm very nervous, but like I remember that moment, and like, and moving forward after that, I was like always prepared, always like trying to be better, always, you know, and I think, you know, through their friendships and like our journey together, like that's how I became a better songwriter and better musician in general. I don't know if I'm just rambling, but anyway.
No, it seems like you guys, bring out a lot of really great qualities in each other, whether it's musicianship, friendship, or just telling a good joke. So that's very apparent in everything that you guys put out, in how you guys carry yourselves when you're all together. And it's actually hilarious to me that you met Marcus in Jersey and Evan in Chicago.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You would really think it would be the other way around. Like, yeah, he's in Cherry Hill. Like, you would have thought I never even listened to the Progress. Like, before, I had no idea. I've heard of the other bands he's associated, like, not him, but like bands that were working and playing around. But yeah, I never saw the Progress when I lived in Jersey, which is pretty wild.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really glad to get a little bit more insight. I'm sure everyone at home is as well, as to how Pet Sim became a thing. I'm really excited for everything that you guys have coming up, but we've made it the entire way. So let us know what Pet Sim's doing. Let us know what any of your other projects are doing. What is Rick up to in 2021 and beyond? Chugging the entire beer that has been sitting here during the entire show. Oh my God. All right.
I'll tell you what Rick's doing.
This has become a wrestler promo. All right.
We're going to the future. We're getting Bezos. We're shaving heads. I'll see you in the future. Thanks.
All right. Everybody at home, thank you so much for joining myself, the always chaotic Erik Czaja, also known as Rick. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in. We really appreciate everyone behind the scenes that's helping out here. Evan, Maj, and of course Rob and everybody else here at 2112 for letting us shoot in this amazing facility. Thank you all for tuning in once again, being patrons of the Storm Chasers Patreon, and we can't wait to do this even more and get spicier and get even more spicy questions going. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll take care of each other here after this episode.
Thank you.